Guys, this is another update of my 57 Deep Blue Professional Rimless tank. Again, many changes since my last update, and to start off with the fish that are no longer in this tank, I want to say the Hawaiian leaf fish, the Scots fairy wrasse, the starry blenny, and the royal grandma are no longer in this tank. The reason why the starry blenny and the Scots fairy wrasse are no longer in the tank is that one day the starry blenny just went AWOL on the Scots fairy wrasse. The Scots fairy wrasse jumped out of the tank, and wasn't for my dog, I wouldn't notice that he was behind the tank. Revived the Scots fairy wrasse, but then I found out the reason why he jumped out is because the starry blenny went after him and actually was chewing off his scales and eating it. So the aggression, actually, from all the stress, the Scots fairy wrasse did not make it through the night, and I was able to get the starry blenny out. So those two are out. Or rest in peace for the Scots fairy wrasse. The Hawaiian leaf fish is no longer in a tank because I had a chalk basslet, which I have a new edition of chalk basslet, probably under this green maze brain right here. He was pretty much eaten, and so I have other small fish in this tank, so I wanted to make sure the other fish would not be eaten, so I removed him, and that's the reason why he's gone. The royal grandma, I just all of a sudden had problems, was doing fine all the time, and just kicked the bucket. So those fish are no longer in the tank. The new additions I do have is a chalk basslet, which I didn't have from the last. As you can see here, here's my orchid dottyback. He's ORA, and wife named him Barney, and he's doing pretty good. I have a bicolor blenny, which I replaced the starry blenny with, and he's doing okay. The midas blenny gives him a little tough time here and there, but not too much to worry about because they would be swimming next to each other, just maybe if he's in an area that he doesn't want him in. And actually, the midas blenny gave up his little hole for him because midas blenny used to go in this hole right here, right by these acans, but now the bicolor blenny hangs out there usually, and he sleeps in a different hole. So I guess they're somewhat getting along. Over here, I got some red mushroom coral, which really pops at night. I got my brittle starfish here, and as you can see here, my gold torch, my yellow tip torch here, my green torch, hammer coral, and I actually got an orange tip torch right there in the back. That's the newest addition I have in this tank with the symphyllia section. And there's the bicolor blenny, as you can see right here. And my blenny just right past him, didn't really bother him, and hopefully he becomes a model citizen in this tank. There's my yellow assessor fish right here. Get a nice focus on him. He's doing pretty good. And did sell my trachea that used to be there right next to the sun coral. I actually bought another trachea which actually pops better, almost like a yellowish metallic green. It really pops nice at night. And that just passed by is my hogfish. There's my candy stripe hogfish. He's very, he's a little pushover. I mean, he pushes fish around, such as the yellow assessor, but for overall, he's pretty good. And then my blueberry gorgonian, still doing very well. Right now it's closed up, but you know, the polyps are still coming out every day. There's no problems with receding, so doing pretty good. My scoly's right there, the bleeding apple, and this, it's not a war pink, but no scoly. My clownfish are definitely growing, and still waiting for the one clownfish to take charge to become the female. So they're still about the same size, both growing together, so they're not at that point yet. I moved my wrestle over here, really pops at night. The wrasse I replaced the Scots fairy wrasse is a super male rhomboid or golden wrasse. And if I could get a picture of him, he's right over here. As you can see, the beautiful colors on him. And he gets along with the other wrasse, so, but just beautiful colors. Very rare, very expensive. And talking about expensive, the newest addition in my tank here, and people might say you're nuts because I have a rimless tank and I have a bunch of little fish. But this is the most reef safe you're going to get. I don't think I can get a good picture of him right now because he came in today, but he already ate a piece of krill. And that's a Hawaiian dwarf golden moray eel, which resides in that little hole there. And he's not out right now. He's about 8 inches, but he's really tiny, and you know, he'll leave pretty much everything alone. You can see in the background here, you can see I got my electric flame scarab, but I never see, but I know it's still alive, and I had him for a while now since my JBJ tank. And here's a piece of the red mushroom that I actually popped off. I guess trying to find a different spot in the tank to latch onto. So, and I got some a strand of starfish right there, and a whole bunch of hermit crabs here because I had a bunch of ghost shrimp in here trying to entice the dwarf eel to start eating. Which you see my Hawaiian flame wrasse, beautiful up close, and my midas blenny, nice and fat. And my hogfish. I guess he found one of these ghost shrimp. Since they are in fresh water, they don't survive so long in the saltwater tank before they kick the bucket. So over here is it's rainbow clove polyp, which is a nice coral right here, and it's doing pretty good. Nice cool thing that happened here, my spiny yellow cucumber actually split, and now you see 2 of them. So now we actually reproduce asexual, and looks pretty cool. So they hang underneath that Duncan colony right there. I got short tentacle, but there's yellow center, red goniopore, and it's pretty cool. You know, that should last a while because it's the better conditions of living compared to the long tentacle one. And I got a Hawaiian cocoa worm, which is the red version, not the red and white one. This is actually like the pinkish color, which is pretty awesome. And that's a nice cocoa worm hanging out there. My chalice, as you can see, my zoos, my sympodium, all doing very well. I dabbled back into the SPS world, and this is the red planet, or a frag. I just wanted to test around, see you know, if I really want to go back in that direction and see how well it does with this lighting. So we'll keep it updated on that. But from I talk to somebody, I got to probably put that piece lower in the tank because they actually need a lower light than what I have it. So we'll see how that, if I find a good spot for him. Also here I got a 3-headed blasto right here, which is really awesome in the night light. So there's my new update. Plate coral doing very well, along with the dendro right here, which is just continuously growing heads everywhere, as you can see. I don't know if I could get a background. I don't know if my scorpion fish are out, but they're not out right now. And my golden wrasse there. Alright guys, so I'll keep you guys updated and let you know how the fish, and hopefully on my next update you could be able to see the dwarf eel, which is the coolest